Happy Monday, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to pre-market update. Today we'll start with Bitcoin and Ethereum, crypto, and then we'll review two major indices, including S&P 500, Nasdaq, Russell 2000, Dow Jones. Then we'll review commodities, including crude oil, gold, silver, copper, and then at the end we'll wrap up with FANG stocks. Please hit the like button, guys. Only takes 1 second to hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate that, and share this channel with your friends and family. All right, so Bitcoin live market looks what's you can see we have made a new high here, 7 council signal on this date, which is 24th of November, new high, but you can see RSI making lower high. All right, so this is a change in trend, okay, in RSI. PPO did not, but it had a crossover, okay. Now you can see we making a lower high here. You can see high higher low, higher high, higher low, and now this high is not able to go above this previous high. So let's see where we are right now. We're in the middle. If we're gonna go break previous high, then trend is intact. Or if we're gonna go break this previous low, then that means there's a change in trend. Okay, so we gotta be very careful here. Now there is a support box here. You can see little support here for like a week of price action. So definitely if Bitcoin comes back in this box, it really needs to find support and bounce. Now if this does not hold, then you can see we went straight up, we're going to come straight down. All right, so just be careful here. If I go on weekly chart, you can see there's not a lot of support here on a weekly perspective. Okay, the next major support is in this whole major confluence here, like this whole big box here, all right, which is somewhere from let's say 69k to 57k. This is the next support on weekly, and you gotta be ready to see that if this thing does not hold, then it's gonna go straight down there. So just keep that in mind and trade accordingly. All right, I just wanted to make sure you guys are protected and not, in case this does not break out, you are, and this support around 90k does not hold, you're prepared that it's going to do a flush down like it went straight up higher. Another reason, there is a big gap here on 77k. This is pre-elections gap. After elections, when Trump became president, well, he was president-elect, and now this gap is here. They could come back to fill this gap. 100%, I don't know just when. So keep that in mind. Ethereum is making a new high, and there's divergence here as well. You can see what's happening here right now. You can see lower high on Ethereum, okay, on RSI. PPO has maybe not a lot of divergence, maybe slight, depending on how I make it. Maybe not a lot of divergence on PPO, but RSI is showing divergence, trying to hold above this green line. So let's see. One thing to note on ETH chart, that there is a gap around here, 39.49. So they could go and fill this gap, and then they could come back down to fill this bottom gap. Okay, so just keep that in mind. There's a gap at the top, gap at the bottom. There's also a gap here. So let's see how it goes, but let's keep focusing on Bitcoin because I think Ethereum will move with Bitcoin. So take all the major moves with respect to Bitcoin. Okay, guys, that's it for crypto. Let's move to traditional market. Let's start with the S&P 500. Let's go to regression channel. Here is regression chart. MES. Here is S&P 500. And you can see we are in the middle. All right. So we could go all the way higher to 61.43. All right. Or all the way below 59.59. All right. So it's in the middle right now lying. So if it goes above 61.42, that's a good area to sell, take profits, or if it goes below 59.66, that's a good area to buy again. Nasdaq, same thing, in the middle, bouncing from the buy zone here. All right, so bouncing from here, it could go all the way up to 21,576. That's a good area to sell, or if it comes back below, that's a good area to buy. I am a bit cautious on S&P 500 and tech stock Nasdaq. The reason is on a daily chart. If I look at SPX, there is a gap, which is yesterday it was created, not yesterday, last trading session. You can see slight gap up. It's not filled, and this is on S&P 500. Probably they're going to come back at some point to fill that gap. And then next gap is this again elections gap. NDX, same thing here. They did not fill this gap. It was created yesterday. If I go to, not yesterday, Friday, sorry, you can see 1 hour gap, slight gap, not major gap. And then next gap is this elections gap. Came very close to filling it here on 15 November, did not fill it. So I'm just gonna be a bit cautious here because I do see these two gaps, and most likely these gaps will be filled. I just want to be a bit careful and don't buy aggressively here near all-time highs. And this is M2K, this is Russell making a new high on divergence on PPO and RSI. So let's see how it goes. There's also a gap on futures. You can see if I go to 1 hour chart here, there's also a gap, looks like here. This gap was created on here on 24th of November. And if I go to IWM daily chart, there's a gap here. You can see all these green lines are the gaps, and then Dow Jones also you can see all the green lines are the gaps, which they will probably fill at some point. Okay, let's go to commodities now. Crude oil trying its best to hold. It's in a range bound. This is support here. You can see if I put a box here, support here, right? Always trying coming back, bounce, 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 bounce. So it's trying its hard, almost up 1.5%. So let's see if it can break out of all moving averages. This 75.39 is a major gap, so it's going to eventually come there at some point to fill that gap. All right. CNQ also bouncing. There's a gap up here. Again, it's trying to go above this white line. Eventually, I want to see this. So this day here was 22nd of November, closed above all moving averages. Very bullish day, but next day they gave everything back. Okay, so double bottom. Look with some divergences. So let's see. I'm looking for this all these yellow lines gaps to fill. You can see this major gap here, then major gap down here. So let's see when it's gonna go and fill this gap. But again, I'm gonna be holding this strong here. Microsoft is also a lot of gaps on the top side. All right, this I'm just keeping an eye on this. Still closing above all moving averages because I do like Microsoft here. I want to buy, but only will buy when it's in my buy zone. On the Microsoft, you can see in the middle looking to buy below 417. Google, I'm looking to buy below 168. All right, so until that happens, I'm not looking to buy this. Crude oil, you can see it's bouncing, and all the other major indices, S&P 500 near sell zone, MNQ near sell zone, Bitcoin near buy zone, Ethereum near buy zone, so they could get a little bit of bounce. All right, and if you guys want to know more about these zones, subscribe to my channel, guys. There's a join button in the description of this video. Click on it, join, and then where I share all the levels like C and Q. You can see it was in the buy zone. I share these charts and anything else you guys like. You can see 4% pump here. All your favorite stocks. Let me know the levels you want to buy and sell. I will give you those as well. All right, so let's keep moving to natural gas. Other commodities, it's down, gap down. I think it wants to fill this gap around 3.02. Gold, a nice recovery. It was down in the morning pre-market and it's recovering, which is good to see. So it's right now in the middle. If it breaks this previous low 2500, it's going to be bad. If it breaks above 2700, it's going to be nice change in trend. So we have to wait and see which way it goes. I really like this area around 2400 to buy back again. Silver is weaker than gold, and it's already showing a change in trend. You can see it made a new low compared to this previous low. Let's see how low it's gonna go. Probably it's gonna come here around 28 bucks at some point. Copper is in the neutral zone right now, looking very weak. could go further down, could come all the way down to here around 3.79. Sugar is flat, still flagging for so long. Wheat is weak, new low. Some divergences are happening, but it was not able to close above 570, so since then it's been just going down. Corn is also above all moving averages, holding it right now, below few of these blue line and white line, so it really needs to break above that. In terms of FANG stocks, NVDA was in the buy zone. You can see here, could have bought here, and that would have given you a nice pump from there to the top, 5.6% on a daily chart, um, holding barely above this 50 SMA, red and yellow line EMA. So this was a nice, maybe a stop rate below this level, but it could be, if it's going below this level, then it could come all the way down to fill this other two gaps. So I'm gonna be staying away from NVIDIA. Let it do its thing, whatever they want to do. AVGO, you can see in the neutral zone, also would be good to come around 150s to buy again. Tesla keep holding nicely, gapping up this morning, and really a weird chart here on Tesla. It could go to like 405 before year end. That's possible. There's a gap there, and also there are all these yellow green lines are the gaps at the bottom. So who knows where it wants to end. And CrowdStrike after earnings, a little weaker, came to buy zone multiple times. Let's see if it wants to come more, the multiple gaps at the bottom. Again, I don't like anything, guys, other than, to be honest, oil miners. Everything else is too high for me. And lastly, VIX is green. All the other indices are green. So this is VIX here. There's no gap at the bottom. There's a major gap, 20.42 at the top. So just be careful, guys. Also, cycle analysis is telling me we could expect some weakness going from now until second week of December. So let's see if we get that. Okay, guys, that's it for today. If you're still here, hit the like button on the way out. I'll talk to you later. Bye.